bronze statue to be hallowed, set apart for the work of promoting the Scout movement. We do this in giving thanks for all those who have been Scouts and look forward to the leadership of tomorrow. Amen.
I'll commence by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land and whose cultures we celebrate as amongst the oldest continuing cultures in human history. We pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to acknowledge the Governor and Chief Scout, His Excellency, Paul de Jersey, AC. The Right Honourable the Lord Mayor of Brisbane, Councillor Adrian Schrenner. Peter Racy, where's Peter?
Taking photos.
Peter Racy videoing as usual, who's chair of the Expo 88 30th Anniversary People's Committee, and Jason Ford, who's looking after the 35th Anniversary People's Committee. And Gary Hunt, priest in charge of St Mary's Anglican Church. Thanks, Gary. Our Vice Presidents, John Byrne and Kirsty Brown. Welcome. Deputy Chief Commissioners, Region Commissioners, District Commissioners, Clifton Hill Scout Group. Oh, one other person, Chris Berry. So Chris, put your hand up. Chris was the Scout who was the model for the saluting Scout. Chris came from our Bruce group and we managed to track him down and he's got here today. So thanks very much for coming along, Chris. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So welcome to all our youth members and welcome to our tireless volunteer leaders and to the community. Founders Day is the day we pause to remember the 22nd February birthday to the founder of Scouting, Robert Stevenson Smythe at Baden Powell, 163 years ago. Scouting commenced in 1908, or a discussion I'm having with Gary, 1909, somewhere around there in Queensland, with 4 patrols operating out of Kangaroo Point, New Farm, Ithaca and Toowong. Kangaroo Point Patrol was started in St Mary's Church, where we've had our church service this morning, by Charles S. Snow, who led Scouting in Queensland for a number of decades. So we're standing very close to the birth of Scouting in this state. So fast forward, 1984, this site was named as Scout Place by the then Lord Mayor Roy Harvey in recognition of the 75th anniversary of Scouting in Queensland. Fast forward a little bit more. At the very successful World Expo 88 in Brisbane, the 79 human factor sculptures created by art busters were much admired and loved as part of the landscape. The saluting Scout was one of them, and Chris Berry has been immortalised in the original saluting Scout that we have in the foyer of the Queensland Scout Centre, and that one has now been cast into bronze. So at the end of Expo, the statues were auctioned with donations from many companies. The saluting Scout was obtained by the Queensland branch of the Scout Association. As I said, it's in the entry of our Queensland Scout Centre, which is our headquarters. The statue was also taken to the 18th Australian Jamboree at Springfield in January 1998 and positioned in the central mall area, once again to be admired by thousands of visitors during the event. So under a scheme managed by Peter Racy, in 2019 the original statue was loaned to the Brisbane City Council to be recast in bronze. And I think the original plan was to dismember it for the recasting in bronze, but they found a way of not dismembering the original statue, and the whole thing was cast in one piece in bronze. So, and that will form part of the Expo 88 Public Art Trail in recognition of the 30th anniversary of Expo, and that brings us to the ceremony today. So Scouts today is as strong as ever. Peter Blatch informed us 171 countries with the signing up of Afghanistan 2 weeks ago, and with some 59 million members worldwide. We have 70,000 in Australia, 10,000 youth members in Queensland, and 3,500 volunteer adult members in Queensland. In Queensland, our program is delivered through 230 Scout groups, including 11 that have been opened or restarted in the last 3 years. So in closing, I'd like to remind you about the purpose of Scouting, which is to contribute to the development of young people in achieving their full physical, intellectual, emotional, social and spiritual potentials as individuals, as responsible citizens and as members of their local, national and international communities. So Scouting in Queensland is vibrant, we are moving forward, and I think that Robert Baden Powell would approve. Thank you.
Stretch of the river. And today what's happening is that our current Lord Mayor, who's a real fan and lover of Expo 88. He's made sure that a statue from World Expo 88 called Be Prepared, which is about a metre and a half young boy doing the Scouts salute, and he's saluting a beautiful historic heritage flagpole that was erected at Scouts Place that